Excellent. So as we get started, if you've got questions, you can go ahead and just drop those in the chat. We'll get to your questions. I'll take little pauses and we'll answer any questions that might come up. So let me just get started. My name is Jamie. Well, just kidding. Let me get started here. Welcome to the 2021 campaign, Combined Federal Campaign Charity Engagement Briefing. Like I've said 3 times, my name is Jamie McKenna. I am the Regional Director for the Sunshine CFC, which is really most of Florida, from the Panhandle down to the Keys, and it also includes Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. I also am the Regional Director for the Ohio CFC, which is pretty much most of Ohio except for Cincinnati, and then a few counties in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. And then I also have the South Central Virginia and Albemarle Bay Area CFC. We call it VAB for short for good reason. It's a mouthful. This is really Hampton Roads Peninsula area, Norfolk, the northern part of the North Carolina coast, out to Richmond and Charlottesville. So those are the zones. You guys are charities representing all 3 of those zones. Again, Sunshine is zone 22, Ohio is zone 28, and VAB is zone 33. So welcome. Hopefully there we go. A couple housekeeping things I want to go over, just some technical etiquette. Please keep your device on mute. It's super hard to, it is hard to hear if there's a lot of things going on in the background. So close all applications, and Windows will help optimize your viewing experience as well. There will be a video with sound, and sometimes having a lot of different applications open makes it a little difficult on virtual for you to see everything and hear everything. Use the chat box to ask questions. Like I said, we'll break periodically as things come up. And I know that there was a question about a song. There was a song playing. It should have ended and you should be hearing me. If not, please let us know in the chat that things are not working the way that we think that they are. And last, if you're joining by phone, please disconnect and rejoin if you have to take another call. That goes if you're on virtual as well. If you're on Zoom, following along on your computer or your iPad or even your phone, you can do it anywhere where you are. But if you do have to take another call, please just disconnect, and then rejoin us after your call. It just helps with keeping things less distracted. So with that, we'll get started. I'm not sure how long this will go. I think in past years, it's gone an hour. Sometimes it's 40 minutes. It depends. You'll notice I talk a bit fast. So if that's getting out of control, my team will usually send me text messages as well as sending messages in the chat to slow down. And in some cases, I know my friend Jada, who is going to be helping monitor the chat, she'll even just unmute herself and tell me to slow down if I don't hear her. So feel free, Jada, if we get to that point. So let's get going. First, let me just kind of say thank you for coming today. And thank you for choosing to participate in the Combined Federal Campaign. Your work empowers and inspires the generosity of the federal community. And we are just really thrilled to partner with you this year. Your involvement in our local campaign activities is critical to the CFC's success, and we'll talk about that. We really need you guys to get out there, tell your story, motivate federal employees to pledge through the CFC. And we're going to really go over ways that you can tell your story and get involved this year. So this is what I'm going to cover. We'll start talking a little bit about the CFC, what it is, how it works, and the advantages for charities like yourself. Next, I'm going to show you some of the 2021 plans we have, including our new theme. And then we'll talk about important ways for you to get the most out of the CFC, how you can participate in campaign events is really what we'll get into, and campaign videos. And then finally, we'll go over some of the other ways you can help encourage federal donors to choose your organization through the CFC. Just a quick note, we'll have this training available once it's recorded. And we also have the PowerPoint is pretty much almost the same on our website, although there'll be some customized things for our zones. So we will shoot you the link for the training presentation afterwards. All right. So let's get started how the CFC works for charities. The CFC is a federal tradition that facilitates charitable giving within all the federal workplaces. This is actually the 60th year of the CFC, so happy 60th anniversary for 2021. This is a campaign that has generated more than $8.5 billion, billion in pledges. The CFC groups charities into 3 categories. There's local charities, there's national, and then there's international. Most part, all of you guys are considered local charities. You'll be part of a zone as your main zone that you would work with. The CFC itself is divided into 36 regional zones. Like I said before, I run the Sunshine CFC, the Ohio, and the VAB CFC, 3 of those regional zones. So how does it work from a charity's perspective? First thing, you guys have already gone through this, but you apply to participate, to be part of that official workplace giving campaign for the federal community. That really gives you access to millions of potential donors around the world through just one online application. CFC donations provide a critical source of unrestricted funding. As we know, I've worked in nonprofit for 20 years. Unrestricted funding is the best funding. And so CFC donations are all unrestricted and come to you throughout the year. The second thing, engaging with the federal community. So you can attend campaign events, promote your CFC number with your existing donor base, share your success stories and videos to help inspire generosity. And we'll go over those ways. And really the other thing is making sure that we thank donors and coordinate with them to pledge, for those donors who have pledged volunteer hours. And we'll talk about that as well. And then the third thing, you guys are changing the world. Put the generosity of the CFC, taking the generosity of the CFC community, the federal workers, and it allows you guys to provide help and hope to those in need in communities that you all serve. Now that we've reviewed how the CFC work, let's talk about what's in it for you. The CFC has some really great advantages. So first of all, your charity is in front of millions of potential federal donors in one annual application. That means that even if you're a local charity in our zone, like if you're in the Sunshine Zone, donors from the other 35 zones will be able to pledge to you via the online charity search. And federal retirees anywhere in the world can pledge to your charity via allotment from their retirement annuity. And this is becoming a larger and larger growing segment of our donors each year is our retirees. The CFC provides a steady source of unrestricted funds coming to you throughout the year. Distributions start in April following the campaign, which would be April of 22, and continue through the following March. And everything is consolidated through the central campaign administrator system. That's the same system that you guys use to do your applications. That's where you'll also be able to track pledges throughout the year and track donors that release their information to you, distributions, all that kind of stuff is accessible. You can see reports in real time through the campaign administration system. Federal employees are also authorized now to pledge volunteer hours in addition to dollars to charities that have indicated that they will accept those volunteer hours. Volunteers are really high value. It's an opportunity for you to show them what your organization is all about. You have access to them, most likely in person, get to share your story with them, and they really do turn into great, valuable donors. So capitalizing on this generosity, on their generosity, even if it's just volunteer hours the first year, you could easily have volunteers and donors for life. It's just, we all know it's the best way to get somebody to understand and be an advocate for your organization is to show them what you do. So if you have indicated that you'll accept volunteer hours this year, this is a great track to really setting yourselves up for some long-term relationships. So next, I'm going to cover each of these in more detail, just to show you really how to get the most out of your CFC participation. So first one is participating in campaign events. By attending virtual and in-person campaign events, you can boost your organization's donations. You can put the organization's name and mission in front of federal employees and promote the campaign. Second way to get most out of your participation is to submit a story and a photo. Sharing a success story with a photo to be included in our CFC virtual charity fair and will further connect federal employees and retirees to the impact that they can have through the CFC. You can submit a video, add even more to the CFC virtual charity fair with an engaging video. You don't need a large budget or fancy equipment to produce them. We'll show you an example that was created on Microsoft Video in just like an hour and a half. It was really easy to produce. You don't have to have high-tech equipment. I know you've gotten emails from the marketing outreach coordinator with the parameters for the video, and I'll show you on our website where that all is. But it is not as daunting a process, I think, to do once you get going on it. It's really easy to do yourselves. So that's part 3. And then accepting those volunteer hours. When applying, this is something you do during the application process. Submit your volunteer opportunities to build the CFC volunteer database. You can reach out to federal employees and retirees that pledged volunteers the previous year and host volunteering events for federal groups. So those volunteer hours become, like I said, a great access to federal employees and really do set you up with long-term relationships. And then the fifth thing you can do is promote your CFC participation, displaying your 5-digit CFC code as much as possible. You can do that through social media, marketing to potential donors throughout the campaign. You can do it on your own newsletters, emails. If you have your own events, we'll talk about that a little bit, but that 5-digit code is something that federal employees understand. They know the CFC logo and lets them know that you are part of the combined federal campaign. Before I go into theme and materials, any questions on the slides covered so far? Awesome. So 2021 theme and materials, obviously you're seeing something different here. You can be the face of change. We're really excited to share, designs for this year. They are different. We've been using Show Some Love and Show You Care for several years, the circle with the different kind of pastelish neon colors, but we have moved away from that through outreach with donors and charities and federal non-donors, volunteers, everyone. The feedback was they wanted something new this year. So we have gone to the traditional red, white, and blue, and what we're calling You Can Be the Face of Change. So the new approach to design and messaging is new. So let's kind of walk you through that a little bit. The You Can Be the Face of Change concept will introduce federal employees and retirees as change makers, people who are changing the world together through the CFC. The designs include compelling photos, focuses on faces and expressions, and showing the vivid personalities of federal employees, uniformed service members, and postal employees. So last year, we did do the faces, but they were all indoors. Everyone was doing selfies, on Zoom. So we've taken, obviously we're back outside more than we were last year. And we're just trying to show sort of that the different, different people's personalities through their photos. So each of the posters and a lot of the stuff you'll see this year on social media is going to be similar to this script here that you're seeing on this poster. We are the faces of change, federal employees, retirees, military personnel, postal workers, change makers. Every year we give to our favorite charities through the CFC and change the world together. So we've asked federal employees to build their own face of change profiles. My team has been doing it. So if you are following our zones on Facebook, you've probably seen those. It's a really great way just to show your support and show people, the things that, the causes that motivate someone. So this is something that you'll see throughout the campaign as you're doing events and on social media with us. Here's a sample of some additional campaign materials so you can see how we're carrying the theme throughout. You can always find all of our materials on our website. I'm actually going to go to the website. It's a little dangerous, but I'm going to do it. I'll show you guys the website here in a moment. But the overall CFC has a main website, and that is givecfc.org. Let me just put it in the type box for you guys, givecfc.org. That's the main website. Each of the zones does have its own website, and I'll show you how to find those. But again, this is some of the campaign materials that we'll have this year available on our website. You can take a look at all of those things. So the other thing we have on the website is we have a special online charity toolkit this year. It is accessible from the givecfc.org website. All you have to do is scroll down on the page and click the Are You a CFC Charity button. Within that toolkit, you'll find instructions and links to resources that you can download. This is a partial list of things on there: logos, marks, identity guidelines, virtual charity fair submission links and instructions, charity engagement guide, advertisements, promotional videos. That's some of it. Keep checking back. It's getting updated as we go throughout the campaign. And I'm going to show you one more slide and then take you to that website. So this is another really important aspect of the 2021 campaign. That is our plan to highlight a cause of the week each week. So this is our schedule. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I got a dog barking. Hold on 2 seconds. Sorry about that. There's actually 4 dogs, and if one starts, they'll all start. So I think preemptively letting them out. All right. So these, again, this is the schedule. We recommend looking on this, see where your organization falls in so that you can be ready to help promote via social media, newsletter, communications, and events. This calendar has more information. This calendar is on our website, and there's a lot more information as well there. So it's on the Give CFC website, but like I said, there is also a zone website for each zone. Let me show you how to find that. This is our main website. Should be sharing. Jada, are you guys seeing the website, or did I not share it properly?
I see it.
Okay, great. So this is the main page. You scroll through here. This is Meet the Changemakers, share your story, watch charity videos, read charity stories, campaign updates will be made here. And then this is what we were talking about. Are you a CFC charity? Access the charity toolkit. So that has great resources. This has a lot of, all the different ways to make the video, how to apply, good information there. But if you wanted to find your local zone, if you don't know the website, you just go to your local website. You can search by map. It's really a great way to do it. I'm going to just go 22. We're going to go to Sunshine. It's an easy one to get to. And then this is what the actual zones websites look like. There's a little bit of customized information. All of my zones are very similar, so you'll see a lot of the same information here. We've got our campaign videos up here. I would love for you guys to take time to go and check those videos out. They're really inspiring this year. The main video is about 20 minutes, but they are broken down into smaller segments you can watch. And then you got a whole charity section here. So charity engagement. This is an easy way to get to all that information as well. You can access our zone calendars, what's going on in the zone, events that are happening, things like that. And then you can see our campaign material. So if you were looking for just some language, or even you're looking for our 60th anniversary watermark, document headers, things like that, the logos, all of this is available to you on the website. So absolutely recommend taking the opportunity to look through that stuff. Oh, I want to do one more thing on there. Just kidding. I wanted to show you the cause of the week. So, cause of the week. So if you click on each one of these, it goes into more detail about the cause of the week. Of course, my computer's going to be slow in this one moment. There we go. So you'll see more information here. Each of the causes has their own tab that you can click into. Definitely take a look at that. That's something we really recommend you guys familiarizing yourselves with. Be really helpful. The other thing I didn't even point out to you, there's really great, if you're putting together some language, you want to put emails together for donors that you have names of that have been CFC donors. There's all kinds of stuff here, language that you can use for that. And then we're waiting for OPM to finalize our toolkits, but we've got these great toolkits. These are for, the campaign, the federal agency campaigns will be using these, but there's a cause of the week toolkit. There's just some great information here. So if you are looking for some good collaterals, feel free to check out our website. Okay. So next I'm going to go on to events. Are there any questions about the website and stuff I just went over? All right. It's so quiet. So now that you have an overview of the campaign, some of the specific plans for 2021, let's talk about how you guys can get involved. And really one of the biggest ways is through participating in virtual and in-person events. Participating in events it's so important. Last year we saw strong CFC giving, and we want to capitalize on that. So your involvement in local campaign activities has always been really critical to our success. This year is absolutely no exception. So a little caveat, some of what I'm going to talk about in this briefing, we pulled it together, it was early summer and things looked really good for in-person events. For much of the country though, things have changed drastically since July. And so at this point, our teams are anticipating being heavily virtual this year. We think there'll be some agencies that will do in person, and there were some last year, but because of COVID and protocols within their own agencies, virtual events are going to be more likely than in-person events. I think our consensus is bringing in contractors and charities to an agency adds another unknown quantity when they're already restricting how many people can be in the building as is. So just kind of keep that in mind. But we are going to go over tips for both virtual and in person. So I think a little bit of the presentation was created around the idea that we'd be in person this year, and which we think we will be to some extent, but I think virtual is probably the heavier. So participating, like I said, it's really important. If you look at last year's virtual, we love doing in-person events, but we think we handled virtual really well. So we had really good success. We had more zone kickoffs. We had zone-wide events. We had virtual lunch and learns. We even did some fun cross-zone events, like our Giving Tuesday Music Festival. So things like that will continue this year. You may be invited to more virtual events than in-person things. There will be, we'll communicate that with you as we go. So I just kind of want to give that a little bit of a caveat. But like I said, meeting people in the federal community is really important. So we strongly encourage you to get involved in the campaign and make efforts to attend campaign events when invited. If we were in person, there's really nothing worse when a charity fair is half empty. So we will be sending out invites throughout the campaign as events come up. So we encourage you again to be part of that. So part of it is you can be the face of change to the federal community. That could mean saying thank you to them for supporting you over the years, but it could also mean showing them support when they need you. So these are the kinds of things that you'll be able to support them with throughout these events. All right. So some of the things you can do at these events to help, you can do interactive activities. If you are in person, you can bring promotional items, giveaways. If you're doing virtual, do a tour of your facility. Campaign events boost morale in the workplace. And so by participating, you'll be helping to do that. Campaign events also increase participation in the campaign and thereby increase donations to you and other participating charities. So the saying is, remember, a rising tide raises all ships. So everything you can do to promote and encourage participation in the campaign helps all of us. So general tips, a little creativity and planning can really help you guys connect with those potential donors. So be memorable and engaging. Set up an engaging display so that attendees will be drawn to your table. Consider incorporating an activity or a game or a prop to demonstrate your mission. You definitely want to be memorable. Remember to get okay, though, from an event coordinator to ensure that what you're planning is allowed by that agency. Tell your story. So prepare a 30 to 60 second engaging elevator speech about your organization and how donations through the CFC help your programs. Ask questions about the causes that people are interested in and help make that connection to the work that you're doing. Giveaways, bring giveaways. Who doesn't love it? Free stuff. So while attendees always appreciate practical items like totes and pens, your organization can also bring a bowl of candy or another small treat to attract visitors to your table. That kind of thing. Something creative is great as well. And make sure your giveaway has your 5-digit code on it. If you are giving them something, have your CFC code on that. You want to promote that. And then promoting event attendance. So share on your social media channels in advance and share photos or videos during or after the event as well. Caveat is just making sure that is allowed by the event host, but certainly promote the event afterwards is very encouraged, as well as promoting it prior to the event. So, last year brought out creative ways to participate virtually, to do these gatherings. So here are going to be some really good tips for you for hybrid, doing these virtual events. So become tech savvy. Ensure you're able to connect using the platform chosen by the event coordinator. For the most part, it'll be Zoom Gov. It could be Teams. They will provide you with a link on how to get into that. So definitely making sure that you do test runs, understanding your microphone, your video functions, all of that stuff. If you have something happening in Teams and you've never used it before, you can reach out to our team. We can do a little tutorial. We can give you guys some easy instructions as well. So community shares, I am not saying charities can hold events promoting the CFC, like inviting federal employees to it. But if you are doing your own event, you can absolutely promote that you're part of the CFC. So you would, if you were having like your annual event, you could promote the CFC at that event, that you guys are a CFC agency. You could promote it in newsletters, on your website, on letterhead, everywhere you can think of. You can absolutely blast that you guys are part of the CFC, as well as on social media. So next, so tech savvy, absolutely, understanding your own technology. And then practicing good etiquette. Have your microphone muted when others are talking, which you guys are A+, amazing here. Look at the camera to appear interested and present at the event. There's nothing worse than you can tell when someone's, typing away on their computer while they're attending something. It's just, definitely being engaged. And another one, just don't eat while on camera. It's just a thing, just something we highly recommend, although I'm about to take a sip of water, but you didn't see it. So I don't know if it happened or not. And then another way, show what you do. So if possible, have something in the frame to represent the type of work that you do. If you rescue animals, have one of them there to introduce to the audience. If you feed the homeless, have your stock room with donated cans as your backdrop. There's different ways to do it. We've had virtual events where someone who works at a food bank walked through their main food distribution areas while on an iPad and showed that as part of their, they're part of the virtual event. It's a great way to be able to show people the work that you're doing. Maintain professionalism. So choose a pleasant, non-distracting background with good lighting. A bookshelf or wall makes a great backdrop. An unmade bed, not so much. Wear pants. That's my big recommendation. So you don't stand up in the middle or something happens and you're not wearing pants. So you definitely want to make sure you're dressed appropriately as well. And then just check your lighting. You know, you can get on a different, you can get on a virtual platform. Make sure the lighting's really good where you're at, so you don't have dark shadows on your face, things like that. And last, look for opportunities. In-person events are sometimes limited. So if you're participating in a virtual event and you're given time to speak about your organization, be creative. Like I said, you could demonstrate even packaging a care package for a homeless person, walk down the aisle to show the adoptable dogs and cats. You know, use your facilities or your agencies as your backdrop as much as you can. It'll be engaging for people. I'm seeing someone's April to March. So the campaign actually is September 1st through January 15th. The campaign distributions start in April and end in the following March. So they'll start April of 2022 and end in March of 2023. So that was the April to March comment that I made. Next, so participating in campaign events in federal workplaces does come with its own set of rules and restrictions. So here is a quick review, and these are on our website. I gotta go through them. So attend only the attend only the events that you are invited to attend. Do not show unannounced, please. And I will get to that RSVP process here shortly. If you RSVP that you would attend an event, please show up. Follow the security guidelines provided by the agency hosting the event. Ensure you have proper identification. They will let you know, if you are in person, you'll need an ID. If you're in person and you can't bring a phone, they'll let you know. We do have some facilities that are very secure and you really can only walk in with your license in your pocket, and that's about it. So knowing those things ahead of time is going to help the person chosen to go to these events. And then if it's someone, I'm not gonna lie, I had done an event several years ago in a very locked down nuclear training facility for the Navy, and I could not bring my phone in, and I had an emergency with one of my kids at school. So plan accordingly, know who's being invited to events, things like that. You just, you'll think through, you'll know during the RSVP process if there are limitations on what you can bring in and things like that. Okay. So using only the display area allotted. So a lot of times you'll have a table allotted to you. You'll only be allowed to display on that area. I have not in recent years seen any agencies ask people to bring their own tables and chairs. They will provide that. You might need to provide if you're you'll know what you need to bring outside of, and you'll know what they're also providing, whether if it's like, if there's even a computer presentation they're going to have at the event and they need you to bring a video, they'll let you know everything ahead of time. So you want to, the other thing, promote overall participation in the campaign, not just your own organization, that rising tide ship analogy. You cannot sell anything at events. You cannot collect names or accept donations at the event. So those are some big ones. No selling anything, no collecting names, and no accepting donations at the event. You want to dress and act professionally and treat everybody with respect. And then last, ensure you follow the department's agency guidelines and regulations regarding current health and safety measures, like if there's limitations on in-person gatherings, vaccination policies, face mask requirements, hand sanitizing stations, cleansing protocols, all of it. When you're going to be in an event, you'll want to be aware of those guidelines and follow them. I'm seeing a question about the deadline to upload videos, pictures, and success stories. There is no deadline. So please get those into us. The sooner the better, but there is not a deadline on that. As we get them throughout the campaign, they will be uploaded and added to the library of documents. So the invitation process. So, we talked about why events are important and how you can make the best of your time. So let me talk to you kind of about the process for our zones, for my 3 zones. So what happens in an agency requests charities? So they might say, hey, we want 5 charities on Wednesday, October 15th at 10 a.m. They'll be each given a table. They'll be doing this presentation, etc. That event comes into us, my team, and it's actually Jada. She will create the event in Eventbrite. And then every charity in our zone, every local charity, as well as national and international charities that request to be part of our zone list, will get an email from us in MailChimp. So MailChimp, it'll still say it's Jada Meadows, but it will be from MailChimp. The subject in this in the email will say this, and this we're going to be as consistent as we can with this. It will have the name of the zone, so it will say Sunshine CFC Zone 22, October 15th, 10 a.m. event. That's the subject line, so you can kind of track what's coming in. It's not confusing. The different subject lines will vary based on the date and time of the event. That will help you, I think, with tracking invitations as they come in. We've had some confusion in the past. Within that email, the date, time, and type of event requested will be included. So if it's a virtual event, if it's a charity fair, if it's a campaign kickoff, whatever it is will be included in there, the time and the date. You will not get the directions on where to go, the contact, any of that information. Everyone is getting the invitation to attend and let us know if they're interested in attending. This is the regulations that have been established that everyone has to be invited to every event. In that, there'll be an Eventbrite link that you can go in and you can click on it if you are interested in attending that event. Charities will have 48 hours to respond. There might be an occasional time where we have less than that. We will let you know in the body of that email what the response time is needed to be. If we get an event sent to us very late, we might have to say we have a 24-hour cutoff, but 48 hours to respond. When you respond, you'll be asked, who's the name of the contact from your agency. You'll provide cell number, person attending the event if it's in person. Normally it's a 2-person maximum for in-person events. If there are any in-person events, I have a feeling it will be a 1-person, but we will let you know in the body of that email when you respond to us in the Eventbrite and fill out, your information. So once that 48 hours is over, we close that event sign up and we pull the list of interested charities. And then we use a charity randomizer. It's a randomizer, we call it a charity randomizer, to select the requested number of charities. So if we had 25 charities say they're interested, but we have 10 slots, we will randomize for 10 charities. Those charities that are chosen will get an email confirmation from Jada with the pertinent details that will have where you're going or the Zoom link, team links, contact details of the agency organizer, and all the other pertinent details. The federal agency will then reach out to those participating charities and communicate any finite details with you. So charities that are not chosen will not get a confirmation, but we will waitlist them if a space opens up. So everyone will get the initial email. If you are chosen through the randomizer to attend, you will get a follow-up confirmation email with all the details. We encourage you to RSVP that you're interested in as many events as you can. However, just to be clear, if your charity has already attended an event, priority will be given to those charities who have not yet attended one. So if we have 10 slots and the first 2 that come up are charities that have already been to events, and we know we have a lot of charities that have still not attended, we will go to the next up charities on the randomizer list. So once you've attended an event, we will try to get everyone an event. If charities are not responding, then we will go back to the list and you'll get priority again. So we will do our best to get as many charities involved as possible. Again, this is going to be a lot virtual this year. So really, if there's an event, in Tampa and you live in, let's say, Puerto Rico, you could attend the event in Tampa if it's a virtual event. There's no reason why not. So just keep that in mind when you are asked. Same with, Virginia. If we have a charity in Charlottesville and there's an event in North Carolina with the Coast Guard, you can attend those events as long as it's virtual. There's no issue. If it's in person and you want to attend, you are welcome to drive it or fly in from Puerto Rico. But just realistically, you can attend those virtual events, even if it's not nearby you, near where you live. Any questions on that? I think I have another slide that even goes into more details, just to, if you want to kind of screenshot this one, I use names, it's a little less sterile. So event is scheduled, 48 hours to respond, RSVPs are randomized, and then just ignore point 4 because that is actually not true. You will not get an email if you're not chosen. It's the opposite. So we'll pretend you didn't see that slide. So that's the charity process. So we did have some questions about the charity fair, success stories. So as part of our continuing effort to connect federal employees and retirees to the impact they can have and be visible, we do promote a virtual charity fair on givecfc.org. It's also on all of our websites. This includes success stories as well as videos. All approved and listed charities for 2021 CFC can submit their story, their photo, and their video to the virtual charity fair submission portal. That was emailed to you guys by the marketing outreach coordinator. It's also on all those websites, and the givecfc.org. It links it to how to do that. The truth is we need you to tell your story. You don't need to spend a ton of time making these videos like I talked about. If you already have one, in fact, something low budget, it's fine. In-house videos have a really good connection to potential donors. I'm going to show you guys one that we made. Like I said, it took a little bit more than an hour, but we used it just with pictures from, made a 60th anniversary video with pictures. It can be done if you don't have the recording capability using Microsoft Video. You can do something like this. You can even do them on your iPhone and submit them. I've created videos on my iPhone. There will be some things to follow through givecfc.org. You'll see, the requirements. They have to be captioned, things like that. So, but that is something that's free through Microsoft Video. You can easily caption it that way. And there are free captioning services as well that are linked through the givecfc.org website, where you find all the information about the virtual charity fairs. If you already have a video, just needs to be captioned, and you guys can submit that. So if you already have one, that's great. I know a lot of agencies have them on YouTube or have them created for them. Those are usable as well. I'm going to show you, this is how easy it was. This is through MS Video Editor. It comes free with Microsoft Office. This is just photos and captioning and music. It's a really great way to connect with donors. So I'm going to play that for you. I think it's about a minute or so. It might be very loud, so watch your ears. I'm not sure how to turn it down. Here we go.
For 60 years, CFC contributions have supported animal rescue. Through January 15th, 2022.
And like I said, that took literally about an hour and a half to create, just on MS Video, and was captioned as well. And it's in compliance, meets the criteria needed for video. So I'm going to jump really quick and show you guys on the website, though I know there's a couple questions on where this is on our website. So this would be share your story. Link here, submit your story. Really easy web form to do it, guys. So easy. You can provide a self image as well. Let me see, as far as video submissions. So you can see the other video. The videos have already been uploaded on here. You can search it by local, national, international, and you can search it out. So these are a lot of the charities that have already gotten their videos up. If you had one last year and you wanted us to use it, you would have gotten an email from our marketing team asking you, can we just use last year's video? That is absolutely fine. If that's what you want to do, you can email me and I can get it to the right person. So charity updates, so charity applications, appeals, and then are you a CFC charity? This talks about the toolkit. So this is where you would find out CFC hosts a virtual charity fair, include videos, stories, photos. VCF submission portal, that's for doing the video submissions, and then the instructions on how to do that is here in the engagement guide. For videos, you'll need a charity name, web address, 5-digit code, your cause area. There is a bit of work involved, but it's like you just saw, we did that for that video. This has a video compliance rules as well. And as mentioned, there is not a deadline for any of that. You can do that at any time. So please take the time to look through that and work to get that uploaded. If you've got a marketing person at your agency, they can help you with that. Like I said, we did this super quick. This is not done by someone who's really, versed at doing videos. It was really easy to do. So we encourage you guys to work with volunteers if you don't have someone that can do it. Your kids, grandkids, anyone that is, that has a little bit of not afraid to just try using the video editor. It's super easy. Oh, we're not going to watch it again. Okay. So marketing to the federal community. So in addition to attending events and participating in the virtual charity fair, there are a few other ways you can market and promote your community organization within the federal community. So promote your CFC involvement. Like I said, print the 5-digit code on your materials. Our website has all the logos you can use for your print materials. You can easily incorporate the face of change theme to your own websites, printed materials, social media, newsletters. If you've got good media context, promote the CFC with your code when you engage with them. Even if you have your own events, you could share your CFC number. I've seen billboards where I live from a local United Way with their CFC code on it as well, with the CFC star logo and their CFC logo. All of that, all those logos, all of that information is available on our websites. So reaching out through messaging, it's another way to market to the community. So invite donors to give during the campaign. Reach out to any known supporters who are federal employees or retirees who can give to your charity through the CFC. You have access to, if you're a returning member, you have access to donors that have released their information to you over the last 3 or 4 years. You can pull those donor lists from the CCA portal where you did your applications. You'll be able to pull your list of donors from there as well. Incorporate messaging specific to retirees in your communication strategies. Like I said, this is a growing segment of our donors that is really fast growing. For a long time, retirees could not give until about 4 years ago. So we're just seeing a lot of growth there. So definitely strategize and tailor your communications to them. Spread the word that they can support you guys. Talk about the ability to give through payroll deduction through their annuity for retirees. This enables donors to give a little bit each pay period, adding to a significant contribution throughout the year. Encourage your supporters to educate their coworkers about your organization. Get people to talk about the CFC, talk about how your donation dollars work, and talk about your mission. Like I said, if you are a returning participant, reach out to those who have pledged to you in previous years and released their information. This is available in the pledging system for you, which is the same as the application system. Promoting volunteer opportunities. So about 4 years ago, we started the ability to do the volunteer opportunities. We did talk about that. You have the ability to submit, your volunteer opportunities when you do the applications. You can help people with this. I recommend coming up with a project for federal employees. Have a couple different days that you'll be doing your project. These will be really, people want to get involved, and you want to be able to have a way for them to fulfill those hours with you. It doesn't have to be, physical. It could be something. Do you need help with your website? Do you need graphic designers? Do you need help writing copy materials, marketing materials? Our federal community is full of talent, so use it. Be ready to answer questions at events as well. And I know, especially virtual events, that comes up, what kind of volunteer events do you have? If you didn't sign up to do virtual or volunteer events this year or volunteer time, definitely look into it for next year. It's something we really do recommend. Again, you can look at your list of volunteers who released their names. If they volunteered pledge hours or volunteer hours last year, you also get their names released to you if they wanted to. You can reach out to them. They are part of your donor base for the CFC, so you can reach out to them prior to the campaign, during the campaign, letting them know we've got great opportunities this year. Don't forget about us when you make your pledge this year. You can produce materials messaging about your volunteer programs. You could do a hosting of a volunteer activity or a day. It could be virtual, it could be in person, and share that information if you're at an event that we're having, a CFC volunteer day, or, if you're working with a campaign manager on their event, do you want to put together an event for your, that's just for your agency, like maybe on a Saturday, do a family volunteer event and encourage people to donate those volunteer hours. Like I said earlier, getting people to your agency is a really great way to build a relationship and a long-term proponent of your organization in the community. So there are a lot of local federal guidelines and restrictions to follow with our social media pages. We have Facebook pages. I would recommend taking a picture of this one here so you can follow us and connect with us on social media. There's a lot of restrictions that we have, but you don't have the same ones that we do. So I can't mention a charity's name in a post because it would show favoritism. I can talk about causes, but you can engage with us on our social media accounts by liking things, commenting, sharing, and then your name will appear on our page. So it's a great way for you guys to get your name out there without us doing it. If I put a post up about, we had a great time training our campaign managers, blah, 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 share it, like it, comment. A lot of times those agencies are following those posts as well. They'll see your name. It just gets you out there more. Make sure to engage with the national CFC and local zones by, again, posting and sharing our content. When promoting your CFC involvement on your own page and your own social media channels, use the hashtag GiveCFC. That will let us follow that. And a lot of people do look up those hashtags and see where engagement is happening. You'll want to share your success stories and photos and videos. You can do that. You can even just tag like our zone, like, hey, we had a great time promoting the CFC in Sunshine this week, and share, your content there. It's a great way to cross promote and get things visible in front of federal employees. And then new for 2021, federal employees have the opportunity to thank the charity through the CFC. So these messages of gratitude will be shared with you periodically. Absolutely use those in your media and promotional efforts. So as that is happening and you receive those, we definitely encourage you guys to use them strategically in communications. And then, so this is cool. You can track your campaign progress. And I did talk about this a little bit. So if you go to the cfccharities.opm.gov, which if you've gone through the application process and the fees process, you are very familiar with that website. By logging in there, you can access your 2021 designations throughout the campaign as they're happening. It'll show you like the initial disbursement and donor information. That stuff you will see in April. You won't receive donor information until then. Again, they have to release the information to you. It's not always the case, but some of them do. We encourage them to, because when they say, well, I never heard from the charity, well, that's also because you didn't release your information. So we are constantly encouraging people to release their information so that they can, that relationship can form, and they can also be thanked and encouraged to participate with that charity. So the reports, you can run like a monetary donations. You can see how many hours of volunteer time have been pledged, and hopefully they're releasing their names for that one, especially with volunteer time. We encourage people to release their information so that we can, you guys have that relationship and can track that their hours have been fulfilled. So again, that's going to be the CFC charity portal that you guys do the applications in. You will have the ability to track your donations in there. Any questions? I don't believe it. I'm gonna put up the next slide. It's just got our contact info on here. So absolutely take a picture of this one. This is our website, our phone numbers, our support email if you need to reach us at all, that support email. We would be happy to help you with anything. Like I said, absolutely get your videos in. If you had one last year and you want to use it again, let us know. Reach out to us through the support at whichever zone, and any of them is fine. We will let the marketing outreach coordinator know to go ahead and reuse your video from the previous year. I am going to stay here. If there's any questions, I am here. If not, I will stop the recording here in about a minute. We will work on getting that available to you. And I'm going to also send you this presentation as a PDF. It'll be smaller. That way we can get it to you. We'll take the video out. It won't clog up your email too badly. You should have pledges showing up in there as they're happening. Our understanding is the pledges already started. Each of these zones that you guys are part of have already raised about $56,000 a piece, somewhere in that range. And there should be information in there. As far as rules for connecting with your donors, as long as they have released their information to you, you can put them on your mailing list. You can email them, thank them, invite them to participate this year. You want to use caution like you do with all your donors. Don't overload them, but certainly if they've released their information to you, reach out to them about this year for sure. And invite them to like your Facebook page. And please like ours. I will stick around, guys, for about 5 minutes. But if you don't have any more questions, let me know. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I am going to stop the recording.